Next on Drive Time, delighted to say we've been joined by John Lydon. His new book is Anger is an Energy. John, hello, good afternoon.
Hello, my name's John. How you doing, Mush?
I'm doing very well, thank you for that. Thank you very much indeed. Anger is an Energy, My Life Uncensored. And an intriguing publisher's note right at the very beginning. You seen this?
Well, it is my book. I reckon I've got a vague idea.
This autobiography is by John Lydon in
Is
his
this
own...
as far as you got?
No, I've got to the end. I've actually got to the end, so we can talk...
This is what you pick up?
Yes.
OK, let's hear it.
Sometimes the organisation of those words does not conform to the traditional rules of grammar.
Oh, yes.
In some cases, the reader will happen upon words not listed in the dictionary, or used in ways one might describe as unorthodox. Well, I just think it's quite an interesting way to...
But it's by way of explanation. Now, when you put a book together, what you want is for it to sound like the way you talk and the way I write and think and am as a human being. That can become very difficult with a publishing house because they invariably revert to what we call the Queen's English. And so they're by way of explanation, they're telling you that my sentence structure can be a little peculiar to the royal family.
Yeah, actually, and the royal family, just to skip to the end of the book then, just to prove that I actually did get to the end, the royal family come out of it quite well, actually. In fact, you say you've got quite a soft spot for the Windsors.
No, I've got a soft spot for any human being that's born into an institution that wraps them up in a hamster cage, quite frankly, and they're supposed to spin the wheel merrily without question till the day they die. I have no resentment for any single member of the royal family. I have problems with the institution, and it's a demand on us that we willingly support this without any say-so at all. What I've always done my whole life is to raise questions about institutions, governments, anything really, religions that demand our full obligation. I think with a person like me, you can earn my respect, and once you've got it, it's forever. But you have to ask first and not presume.
You say a couple of times early on in the book, John, that you're a serious risk taker. That's how you describe yourself. Can you give us an example of that? What do you mean by that?
That I'll stand up when I think a thing is wrong. I will give my well-considered and I think valued opinion, and I don't make presumptions in life, and I don't make statements willy-nilly. I truly believe in what it is I do and say in my life, and I think my life is an example of that. I don't lie to anyone, I don't steal from anyone, I've never done those things. I love very, very sincerely and deeply the people I'm involved with, both family, friends, the industries I work in. I mean good for you all. I've spent my life standing up for not only myself but the disenfranchised, which unfortunately is the British working class and all of our shades, creeds and colours therein.
The accounts of your music taste, the house of music that you grew up in, is fascinating. The idea that this kind of mythology that people think that punks thought that in the 70s all music was rubbish, and you quite categorically go through the bands that you saw at the Roundhouse and what it was like in Kentish Town at the time. Yeah. And here's the thing: you love status quo. Yeah. This needs to be said.
I know, and the BBC banned them.
Well, that's not actually true.
What was the way you run that? Look, not you particular, but you remember this. It was something like 20 years ago. Somebody decided to throw a taste valve in there and decide that they weren't to be listened to anymore. For me, everything is listenable. I'm open to everything. I always have been. I love everything in music. I really, really do. I love and respect the energy and the bravery it takes to put a record together. No matter how awful, nobody makes a record really flippantly. It involves such hard work. Now, from my point of view, I even double and triple up on that, and I make as absolutely sure as I can that every single word is rightly placed. For me, music is emotion. It's the 7 deadly sins. It's the 7 joys of being a human being. But it's a painful journey if it's not approached properly.
There are a couple of gigs that you talk about in the book which I would love to have been at. One of which was Chelmsford Maximum Security Prison, which sounds one of the most extraordinary concerts. Can you just explain what that was like?
Oh, well, this is early Pistols,
Yeah.
isn't it? And of course, at that time, being very, very difficult for us to find anywhere to play. I mean, we were underage. You got to bear that in mind. So we couldn't do any of the pub rock circuit. Blessings, huh? So we'd have to go outside and think outside the box. And Chelmsford Prison. Well, why not?
The other gig that you mentioned actually came up on the show a couple of weeks ago. Spandau Ballet have reformed. I'm sure you know about this. Anyway, they were at the Screen on the Green gig in Islington, which you talk about being full of A&R men. Anyway, it turns out half of Spandau Ballet were there to become Spandau Ballet, and you sort of gave them the inspiration to form. Did you know that?
That's really nice, isn't it? Hello, me fellow Arsenal fans. How you doing?
Yeah. There's quite a lot of Arsenal in this book
Yeah,
as well.
but not to any extent that it's negating your support for any other team. You've got to understand this about me. I was born and raised Arsenal. My dad made sure of that because that's my local manor. And I expect everyone born near any football ground near them to support that team as much as I support mine. Look out for your local neighbourhood first and foremost, and there it goes. And my dad worked on the oil rigs in the North Sea for a little bit, and we stayed in Norwich for a year. So I've got a kind of a fond memory for the Canaries too.
I'm going to play some Public Image, and as the title of the book is Anger is an Energy, we thought we'd play Rise. So you say in the book that your soul is basically with Public Image.
Yeah, the head and mind was Sex Pistol, because I really had to think about what I was doing. I got the opportunity to be the lead singer in that band, and I took to it. I think kind of quite well. I picked me targets, and I knew what I was going to do with that, but I wanted to do more. Public Image was where I opened up my heart to you and told you what I thought was wrong about not only those institutions from the Pistols, but at this point what I thought was wrong about me. And by doing so, hoping that I'm sharing with all of you out there that you got these problems too. That's it, heart and soul. I may be wrong in this, I might be,
You might be right.
a square bird in a round hole.
Anger is an energy, an extraordinary line which obviously you still feel very proud of, and there it is as the title of the book. Are you as angry still? Are you less angry?
Listen, that's the most excellent record, I think. I loved writing that record, and it's obviously got some political connotations to South Africa, but the term itself goes back to when I was 7 years old and had meningitis, and I'd lost my memory, and it took me 4 years to finally remember who my mum and dad were, for instance, or my own name, or even learn how to manipulate my own body, let alone speak. But one of the things the hospital advised my parents to do was to keep me angry, and that would give me the energy to remember who and what I was. It's a positive thing. I've never believed that anger should lead to violence. It can lead to a resolve, internally and externally, for all of us.
And if anger is a positive thing, then, as far as you're concerned, are you as angry now as you used to be, or more angry, less angry? How's it?
Oh my God, who's running this country at the moment? I've got every right to be angry, don't you?
You live in California, so you can be less angry about it.
Hello, this is me roots, babby. I ain't gonna leave you anytime soon. I'm there firstly and foremostly because of the weather, because it stops me being ill all the time. Childhood illnesses, it's left me very prone to endless bouts of pneumonia and bronchitis and things that I can't afford.
But life is better.
So I bask in the LA weather, which is, a balmy 74 on the beach, and quite frankly, wouldn't you like some of that yourself?
Yes. I mean, it's been very nice here recently.
I've had the opportunity to do that, but I worked hard to get it, and here I am. Not forgetting any of you. My family are here. My friends are here. Everything about me is here. Really, it's It's the maypole which I dance around.
Does it feel odd to be an American citizen?
No, it's fantastic. It's hilarious. It didn't change anything at all. I now carry 3 passports, English, Irish and American. The British passport always gave me the worst because coming back into England every single time was a guaranteed strip search. Then I went for the Irish one and, yeah, you can imagine the entanglements. And now I'm a flash yank at Heathrow.
And you attribute the fact you were given a hard time going through customs to God Save the Queen?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say it was that. I would say it was every single thing I ever did at war. Every breath in me just guaranteed that. I mean, I haven't been an easy person to exist with, have I, really? You know, I do tend to say it like it is at all the wrong times. I've got bad timing. But there's honesty in me, there's integrity in me. It just comes out awfully badly.
The most surprising things, I think, in the book are the things that come towards the end, when you're talking about going on Question Time, when you're talking about being Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar, which didn't actually happen in the end. But
yeah, but at least I took on the challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
Which was a challenge. I pretty much run my own show, and I have done, basically, up to the point of taking on Jesus Christ Superstar, the musical. I've never really had anyone tell me what to do. And when you take on a musical like that, you're going to have to damn well listen to the director. And I found it really thrilling. It taught me so much more about myself. Doing I'm a Celebrity, I thought that was going to be, you know, hell on earth. It wasn't. I discovered a great aspect and part of my character that I really do get on well with nature. I did not know that up to that point.
How great
doing butter, I realised I could flog fat by 87% increase
how did that
to Britain.
How did that come about?
The most anarchistic way possible. I couldn't believe that they offered this to us. Are you being silly? But it was terrific. Well, of all the people I've ever worked with in my life, I got to tell you, the agency and the butter companies were terrific. They gave me a free hand, and quite literally it was, there's a field of cows, John. Run out and see what you come up with. Acting. And by the way,
yes,
what the hell's wrong with butter, or me being paid to flog it? How many of you love a good curry out there? You can't make a good curry without ghee. I don't care what the lightweight chefs on afternoon TV tell you, right? There's no substitute for ghee in a curry. There really ain't. It's worth putting on the pounds.
Can you get those in California? Can you get a good curry?
No, you can't. I've got to make my own. It's a shame I couldn't import the butter. You know, they gave us a year's supply of it.
I would think at the very least.
It proved to be incredibly difficult to get rid of. That's an awful lot of butter. Really is. You know, you just don't know enough people to give it away to.
It's a present from John Lydon. Let's have a guess what it is. Oh, it's more butter. Is that what you miss the most about the UK when you're in California? Is it the curry house?
I don't miss the police harassment, right? That really, really was unbearable. It was just every weekend, just constant raids, and God only knows what they were looking for. At the end of the day, I mean, after like 6 months of this, really, I got to know some of the police officers on a one-to-one basis, like personally. I knew their names, and they'd even sit in pubs that I'd be in and come up, and we'd have drink together. It got that silly, but it just wouldn't stop. They were told they had to do it. They told me I had to put up with it. And it just went on and on and on. Now, of all the crime that goes on in Blighty, you know, Johnny Rotten sitting in his living room, you know, when he'd much rather be out in the pub and having a pint, it was a bit stupid to be raiding me. I'm no drug dealer, you know. I'm not selling firearms. What I'm selling you is words. Now, my words are my bullets. Apparently, they count for something. But that gets too much, doesn't it? You know, endless harassment, stupid harassment, and no one in society knows why this thing trundled on and on and on. There are far better people out there to harass.
Where do you buy your music from?
You can't anymore. You just can't. I can't find it anywhere.
Do you download?
What I tend to do is, no, I don't. I can't bear anything off the internet. The sound quality's not there. I'm not buying an idea of a song. I want the full register. What I tend to do is look forward to touring, because we'll find in these, like, lesser places that they'll still have record stores, and they'll be like gold mines to me. Gold mines. The last record I bought, really, sad to say but true, no, it's not sad to say actually, I loved it, was Aqualung by Jethro Tull in Hungary. I really wanted the vinyl copy.
So, there's a purchase.
But it shows how wide my taste is. I don't have musical prejudices. You shouldn't.
When do we next get to see you play live?
Very soon. The 13th of December at the Indigo in London, the O2 venue. We're just doing this book tour. I'm going in there to record a new album, and in between we're going to be doing live gigs dotted around the place. That's the first official one. I've taken on a serious workload here, but I know Johnny ain't shy of hard work. If there's any message at all in the book or anything I have to do or say in life, it's hard work don't kill you. Laziness does.
John Lydon, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much indeed.